from Cottage Grove Ice Arena. Sam Ekstrom and Ron Coulter with you ringside. It's the SWCTC Hockey Classic between the Woodbury Royals and the Park Wolfpack. Great matchup tonight, Ron, and a couple players worth watching. First for Woodbury, Ben Tarleton. He had the game winner against Park last time they played in overtime. A big contributor for the Royals.
Yes, Ben has a lot of speed out there, and he's very good with the puck. He's very good in stick handling, and he's very good on the power play. He helps out quite a bit. Him and Kruger are just unreal together.
It's senior night tonight at Park, but a sophomore, one of our players to watch for the Wolfpack, Sam Jansky. He's been terrific this season, just a 10th grader.
Yeah, Sam's unbelievable. He's changed from a forward to a defense this year, which has helped out quite a bit for Park. He's scored at least 7 goals on the power play this year, and he's very good on the penalty kill.
And speaking of that senior class, there are 8 of them playing in potentially their final home game tonight at this refurbished arena. What has this class meant to the program?
The leadership from this class has been unbelievable this year. They have a majority of the goals, and they control the play out there. That's all I can think of at this time.
We'll step aside. Puck drop is right around the corner. Should be a great one between the Royals and the Wolfpack. Don't go anywhere. Sam and Ron back in the booth, but down by the rink, it's the third member of our broadcast team, Bill Hupp, with a preview of this one. Bill?
Had a chance to talk to both coaches before the game, and the head coach for Woodbury, Wes Boland, talked about the fact that his team has struggled to score at times this year, having been shut out 6 times. So we talked about the fact that they need to stay disciplined on defense and stay out of the penalty box. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jay Mosier of Park of Cottage Grove talked about the fact that his team needs to keep it simple, also stay out of the penalty box, get pucks in deep. And he said, put it simply, we play hard and with energy. That's when we have success. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bill. And Ron, we bring you back into the conversation here. 2 teams that are very similar. They've got similar records. They both have struggled a bit offensively this year, but I think very evenly matched squads.
Yes, they are very evenly matched. I know that they've had some problems, though, at the beginning of the game. They haven't really been able to get out with a good start. But hopefully tonight they can start fast and get things going.
We'll step aside once more and then rejoin you for Puck Drop tonight at Cottage Grove Ice Arena.
Police officers are just like you. We have busy lives too. So we understand busy. We all have that to-do list.
If we stop you because your brake lights, tail lights, or headlights aren't working,
we're not going to pile on an added expense, but we are going to give you a ticket.
It's more like a voucher. We're part of the Lights On program. Take this ticket to Duffy's in St. Paul Park.
And they'll replace your inoperable light free of charge. Why? Because everyone deserves a break every once in a while.
It's a beautiful day for a picnic.
Yeah, I'll pack the car. We are all set.
Did you reserve the shelter?
Don't miss out on your Woodbury Park adventure. Woodbury has 6 park shelters and 4 park buildings to reserve. Make your reservations at woodburymn.gov today and get out and enjoy your area parks.
Okay, now we're all set.
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Meet the Emerald Ash Borer, also known as EAB.
Hello!
She's trouble because this one little bug can destroy hundreds of ash trees in any city.
They're my baby's favorite food.
What Miss EAB does is bore into a tree so she can lay her eggs. When hatched, the larva
Aw, they're so cute.
eats the tree from the inside out until it develops into an adult beetle.
They grow up so fast.
Please inspect your trees for infestation. Look for S-shaped scars under the bark,
That's my mark.
dead branches, and D-shaped exit holes.
How else do you expect us to get out?
If your ash tree is infested, please consider removing it in the fall, or act now and have your tree treated for this pest.
Don't do that, you're gonna kill us all.
That's the point.
Rats.
You can get more information about the emerald ash borer on the forestry page of Woodbury City website or at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. Let's work together to stop this pest today.
Just before the Star Spangled Banner, the winner of their cancer fundraiser was named. It's called Check. Coaches helping eradicate cancer in kids. Over $4,600 raised. Woodbury earned more money than Park in that fundraising contest, which means that Park coach Jay Mosier
for, I believe they said, the 13th consecutive year, has to wear the opponent's jersey on the bench during the first period. He was joking about it before the game, but it really is a great cause that they've grown awareness of here at Park of Cottage Grove.
Yeah, it is a very good cause, and they raised over $47,000 within the 13 years, and it's been great. Every year, though, we kind of expect Jay to be the one to wear it. So
he's been coaching for 13 years, so I think it's a 100% loss rate, but all going toward a fantastic charity. Woodbury coached by Wes Bolin, the 16th year coach, a couple coaching veterans on the benches tonight as the Wolfpack and Royals get ready to face off here. The Royals, of course, wearing the royal blue, and there in net is Woodbury goaltender Austin Carlson, the backup to Josh Davis, getting the start tonight.
Yeah, it's a really good game here tonight because we have Connor Nelson over on the other side, and looks like there's going to be some hard hitting tonight.
And Coach Mosier calls Nelson the linchpin of their team. He saved 49 shots in an upset victory against Stillwater 3 games ago. We are underway in this first period here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. Park with the opening shot attempt of the game, wide right. The Wolfpack controlling the offensive zone. That slid back door toward Carter Newpower. They go high slot with it. There's a shot blocked and skitters off into the corner. Wolfpack trying to control the zone early. Park averages 2.3 goals per game and 24 shots. And here come the Royals. Right wing drive and a pad save made by Nelson. Off to the far half wall. Royals send it in front, nobody home. That'll bank over to Tyler Berry at the right point. And the puck skids, not quite out of the zone, but the Royals will touch it back up to neutral. The pass goes beyond Newpower for an icing, less than 1 minute in.
And then faster the pace we have here tonight, the better for Park. They seem to start really quick, so let's see if they can do that tonight.
Woodbury offensively scoring 2 goals per game. 11 of their 43 goals this year came in one game against Roseville. There's a backhand chance on Nelson, who makes a fine stop still in the opening minute here. Puck slides out to center, picked up by Matthew Thompson. Out in the offensive zone, now gliding over is Ryan McCarthy, and the Royals pick it up behind their own cage. Now the Wolfpack back with it. Sam Jansky, the sophomore, who we highlighted before the game. Jansky with it now. He's got 11 goals, 5 assists, and potent on the power play. He still controls in the Wolfpack end. Looking ahead to McCarthy. The senior redirects it toward Thompson. And the Royals track it down with Ben Tarleton, the junior defenseman. And he'll ice the puck. You know, there's a lot of talent on the blue lines tonight, Ron. You got Tarleton on one side, who's got 7 goals. And then on the other side, Jansky along with Widener, who combined for 11 goals and 20 assists.
Yeah, it's they're both pretty good out there when all is said and done. And I'll tell you, Jansky, he gets rid of the puck really fast.
Frankie Savard in the offensive zone trying to win that draw for the Wolfpack, but the Royals take it. Zimmerman sends it ahead right wing. Kept in at the point by Jansky. Rims along the end boards into the corner. Now looped back for Chris Fotopoulos. Battle on the half wall with Zimmerman along with Quinn Kruger, their captain. Puck rolls along the near side. There's Fotopoulos in a board battle. Left point moved in by Brady Strand, and behind it goes Savard trying to pick it up for the Wolfpack as they look to keep the zone. Right point, and the puck winds up in the bench area near Wes Bolin, the Woodbury head coach.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very important tonight for both teams to stay out of the box because they both seem to have good power plays. So I should look forward to that.
Yeah, both coaches wanted their teams to stay out of the box tonight in the worst way. The Wolfpack especially, their penalty kill, just 69% on the year. They've been allowing over a 30% power play scoring rate. So they're trying to stay even strength or get on the power play themselves, which has been pretty good. They'll have an offensive zone draw here. 2:20 into this first period. These teams feeling each other out. Park 2-4-1 since the start of the 2016 season against Woodbury. Last year they split. And earlier this season on January 9th, it was a Woodbury come-from-behind win in overtime. by a 3-2 score. Puck rolls through neutral ice, picked up by the captain, Quinn Kruger. Kruger tracked down by New Power. It comes near side, grabbed by Logan Schwartzhoff. Now taken back the other way by New Power. Makes a move and scores! Carter New Power from the left dot. And Park takes the early lead.
Yeah, Carter came in pretty fast on that one, and he picked that spot pretty well. That upper corner, he looks like he really didn't have much of a chance at that one. He might have been screened just a little bit.
10th of the year for New Power from beyond the rim of the circle, glove side. And for New Power, that's his first goal in the last 3 games. What a start for Park on senior night. New Power, one of those seniors, and that's got to feel good for him. Now Park in their own end. They've got another early lead on Woodbury. They led 2-0 against the Royals back on January 9th before losing that advantage. Up 1-0 now. That puck hit a stanchion and took a wobbly bounce. Picked up by Woodbury's Ben Cheetah, and Cheetah touts it into the zone. Poked away from Joey Myrer, and it goes to the far half wall. Cheetah there to get it. Board battle. Myrer gives it up. McCarthy tried to funnel it between his legs. Winds up near side. There's a check of Caleb Craven, and the puck goes out to neutral ice. Fluttered in, and Lex Lindau back to get it for the Wolfpack. Lindau wires it off right side, attempting to get it to Strand. Royals bring it back in the zone. Tyler Kalesa looked to center and moved to the end boards. Brett Hill battling. Centered out front, nobody there. Frankie Savar, the junior, with it for Park. Moved to center, Andrew Zimmerman. Plays catch there with Brett Hill, and the Royals defense with it in front of their own bench. Nice pass angled to Kalesa. Right wing circle, got a tip in front from Glazer, and the Wolfpack will clear it out the length of the ice, and that'll draw a whistle. Less than 5 minutes in, the Wolfpack have the early lead.
And it looks like Connor Nelson is pretty much staying in his net pretty deep. He's kind of a big goalie, so he doesn't really do a lot of moving from side to side. He just basically uses his big frame to stop that puck.
Nelson, 7-13-2 this year. His goals against average at 3.5, but Coach Mosier told me earlier today that that's not reflective of his talent. He's faced a lot of shots, top 10 in shots faced in the state, and he has been, as we said, the linchpin for them. And here's another chance from the left circle. The shot came from Dalton Anderson, and that time Austin Carlson equal to the task. Carlson looking for his first win this year in goal, and there's a missile by Anderson right into the chest. Puck rolls far side. Woodbury clearing with Luke Danielson, their leading scorer, with 8 goals on the year. Down to get it, Quinn Kruger, the captain. Wrapped around near side glass. Wolfpack battling along the boards, and it trickles out to center. Scooped up by Schwartzhoff. They go left wing. Tarleton moves it forward to Kruger. We'll see a lot of number 3 and number 9 on the ice for the visitors. And we've got a whistle. Might be a too many men.
Yeah, it does look like they got too many men on the ice. It looks like they're sorting that out right now. And they're trying to figure out who should be going to the box.
2 shots on goal recorded for both sides early in this one. Park with one that's gone in at the 2:48 mark from New Power. They lead, and still some confusion along the bench. One nothing Park, and they are 3-6-1 at home this year, trying to defend home ice. Potentially their final home game. There's a shot right circle with the power play now underway. Woodbury down a man. And the Wolfpack controlling the zone. The Royals are 75% on the kill this season. The Wolfpack are 17% on the power play with 17 power play goals. Jansky, right side, a blast! Deflected off the end boards. Jansky's their top power play threat with a team-leading 7 power play goals on the year. Wolfpack controlling the zone for the first 40 seconds of this power play. Unable to keep there at the right point, and now shorthanded. Here come the Royals. Neither of these teams have a shorthanded goal this year. And here's Ben Cheetah trying to milk the clock, kill some time. Wolfpack regather in their own end halfway through the man advantage. There were 4 power play goals combined in the first meeting between these teams, 2 for each side. Park got power play goals from Jansky and Thompson, as there's a Royals clearance. Nudged ahead to Strand, with Nelson shooting out of his net. New power with Strand still holding it in front of his goal. Gives it to Jansky, who works his way up ice. He speeds across the blue line onside. Got taken down by Chapman. Loose puck along the half wall. Power play time down to 22 seconds. The Royals will saucer it the length of the ice. That'll just about kill it off. Wolfpack with perhaps one last attempt. Here comes New Power, left wing side. New Power, the goal scorer. Goal line extended. Nice pass back for Anderson. Had to reach for it. Centers in front, looking for Youngworth. It's cleared out by the Royals and their even strength. What do you think of the first power play chance there for the Wolfpack?
Yeah, the power play seems to be working pretty well for them. They just got to keep moving the puck around. And I did notice that, power play, they've had 99 power plays this year. So it's kind of not really reflective of that 17%. They've had a ton of power plays. That's a lot more than you ever see for any of the teams.
Jansky and Thompson have combined for 12 of those power play goals. On the other side, Tarleton has 6 for the Royals. There's a shot high slot save by Carlson. Speaking of Carlson, he was inserted after the first period in Woodbury's most recent game. A 4-0 loss against Eastridge, where Carlson took over for the final 2 periods and held Eastridge to just 1 further goal. Nelson way out of his net. And fortunately for Park there, nobody was in front on the feed from Danielson. Hansen unable to keep it at the point. There's Caleb Craven shooting it in along the end boards. Nelson again. Aggressive leaving his net, Ron. He's really not afraid to leave the blue paint and play the puck.
No, he loves to play the puck. He'll come out at any time. He's not afraid to do that at all.
Back to center ice. Connor Hansen sends it back to Caleb Craven. Last line of defense for the Royals. Now Park trying to skip it out of their own zone. In front of the Wolfpack bench. Approaching the halfway mark of this first period, it's 1-0 Wolfpack on senior night. The penultimate game of their regular season. They'll conclude at last place Roseville in their finale on February 13th. So a nice break after this for the Wolfpack. Trying to come up with win number 8 this season. Cycling the puck right side. Contact along the boards. About 5 sticks in there trying to pry the puck free. More contact there in front of the Wolfpack bench. It's shoveled along by Schwartzhoff to the end wall. Good forecheck by Cheetah to keep it in the zone. He's aided by Fotopoulos. Now Cheetah behind. Cheetah looks in front, circling, and backhanding it along for Fotopoulos, the sophomore. Fotopoulos helped by Chapman. Along the wall, it's still Fotopoulos. Shoots one off the skate, kept it in. Fotopoulos all over the place, and the puck finally cleared, and in transition, here comes Thompson. Thompson has one flexed aside by Carlson. Now left point. McCarthy controls, and a whistle blows it dead. The net is dislodged. Just about 10 minutes played in this first period.
Yeah, it looks like Carlson's pretty active in the net down there, too. He's kind of trying to peek around everybody just to see where the puck is. He doesn't get very much playing time, so I'm sure he's a little bit nervous in there, but he looks like he's holding his own.
He's got the same save percentage as Josh Davis, the starter, but 6 fewer wins. Some of that is just bad circumstance for Carlson, the senior. Puck played out right at the blue line, kept in by Hooley. And again, Nelson playing it behind the net. Park passing it wing to wing. This is going to bank off the boards in on Carlson to avoid the icing, and that'll draw play to a halt. An offensive zone draw coming for the Wolfpack. They average 24 shots a game, and they play with the early lead here. Nudged away by Zimmerman off the draw. Andrew Zimmerman falls to the ice, but worked it to Luke Danielson, and now Quinn Kruger with some speed. Back to Danielson. Kruger went to the backhand, had his stick lifted, and the Wolfpack cleared. Good rush there by the Royals. They've shown some good speed here in the first period, unable to get many great chances, though, on Nelson. New power down the middle. Circles back to the point, looking for a tip from Anderson in front. Anderson moved it over to Youngworth. Youngworth centers. Pass was altered by Kruger, who takes it in front of his own bench. Fires it rink wide. Widener, who leads the team with 15 assists, looking for another one. Tried to get it to Jackson Nelson, the senior in front. And Woodbury countering. Down the middle, Danielson. He got knocked off the puck. Now 3-on-2 are the Wolfpack. Onside, shot from way out. Looking for a rebound with Anderson. Savard hovering around it, but Heather takes it for the Royals. Kalesa nudged it far side. Lindau poked it out of the zone for the Wolfpack. Wrapped around in on Nelson as the Royals change. 7-3, the shots on goal advantage right now for the Wolfpack. They're expanding their control in that department. Nelson pinned against the end boards. There's a shot from the dot. Carlson with a save in the chest. Backhanded out by Hansen, and they'll leave the zone with Chapman. Dylan Chapman swerving, shooting into a body. Skirmish in front right by the goal mouth. And there's a shot from the half wall that veers out of play. A couple of good chances there in a bit of a chaotic sequence for Woodbury.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Mosher is also playing his fourth line tonight pretty much here. I usually haven't seen that very much for Jay, but it looks like they got Brady Strand on there, and they got Jackson Nelson playing on the fourth line.
And Park is a little banged up. They've got some illnesses and injuries. Alex Folsom was injured last game. Noah Jansky is sick. So playing a little bit shorthanded tonight are the Wolfpack, but leading 1-0, 12 minutes in. Tarleton tracked it down, now loose puck in the slot, and Tarleton winds up with it anyway. He's got Myrer out ahead of him. Tarleton wings it on net. Slapped away there by Winutka, picked up by Thompson. He goes far side with it, got past Greeter. Now the defenseman playing catch, short top for the Royals. Fired ahead past Fotopoulos. Fotopoulos battling for it. Matthew Thompson pries it away for the Wolfpack. Good effort by Thompson, who's got good size, and he releases the shot wide. New power, kicks it toward his stick. Royals pick it up, trying to get that rush. Charles Schuyler into the corner, met by Jansky. Fotopoulos battling as well. Royals control the puck in the corner. It's Schuyler. Big check by Jansky sends Schuyler flying, and Jansky holds the puck, sends it out toward the blue line, kept in, and they nearly worked it in front to Schuyler, who was all alone. Now the puck will knuckle out of the zone and most of the way down toward Carlson. Scooped up by Zimmerman. Long stretch here of uninterrupted play. 1-0 Wolfpack. They re-enter the zone. Barry back behind his own net. You know, you mentioned this, Ron, that Woodbury has struggled in first periods. Their differential in first periods this season is now 30-12 against them.
Yeah, that happens just because they haven't been able to generate any shots. They're shooting, but they're not on net is the problem.
And on the other side, Park has actually struggled more in the third periods this year, where they've been outscored 36-11. So that's another thing to keep in mind, and that's part of the reason why Woodbury came back and beat them in the first meeting.
Yeah, the comebacks have been the issue for Park this year, and hopefully they can correct that.
Somebody without a glove. It's batted down by Barry. Got to be watchful of a hand pass there, and the shot was flexed aside by Nelson and cleared by his comrades. All the way in on Carlson. He'll nudge it away. Zimmerman, his head looking up ice, moved it toward Chapman. Chapman shoulder to shoulder with Lindau. Worked the puck into the offensive zone, but right to Barry. Zimmerman crosses the face of his goaltender. Barry outlets to Cheetah. Poked away by Savard. Nearly up into the crowd there. Moved in by Myra. Lucio swings forward for the Wolfpack. 2 minutes remaining in this first period. Our only goal came in the opening 3 minutes from New Power on the break. Backhanded in front, one-timer wide. Savard made the bid. And Savard picks it up on the right wing. Looped out by the Royals. They'll willingly take an icing that time. Great chance for the Wolfpack.
Well, and you mentioned the shutouts that were going on. Park was also shut out the other night too against Mounds View. That was a 5-0 shutout, and they had beaten Mounds View, earlier in the season. But hopefully they correct some problems here and take care of that.
Woodbury shut out 7 times this year. Park 4 times. And Woodbury has been more inconsistent offensively. They had a stretch earlier this season where they lost 4 games in a row, then had a second 4-game losing streak recently where they only scored 2 goals in 4 games. Played around by Craven. Craven banks it forward past Chapman. Big check. Around it is Kruger. Unable to control. Reeder moved it along. And back to get it, Connor Hansen. Woodbury tries to be a deep team. They try to counteract their lack of offensive depth with fresh legs. They'll go 4 lines, 3 defensive pairings. Moved out to center here. There's Greeter. Greeter drops for McCarthy, flings one toward the net, blocked by Craven. And now the Royals with 50 seconds to go in the period. There's a centering feed to Myrer. And it's knocked aside into the corner. Swung to the right point. Barry fired one in off a body, and now the Wolfpack looking up ice. They've got Anderson, and Anderson can't handle the pass. Anderson will change. Half a minute left in the period. Royals down 1, trying for a final bid before the buzzer sounds. New Power fires high and into the netting. Make sure you stay with us after this first period. We'll have a quick break and then an intermission interview with Wes Bolin of the Royals. We've also got a great package on Jenny Lawrence. 17 seconds left in the first. Loose puck in front. It goes in on Carlson, who's forced to make the catch.
That looked like a tough one to handle. Yeah, he just barely got that one and fell right into the breadbasket there.
And now 12.7. Matthew Thompson, their leader in goals with 12. Wins the draw. Jansky shoots. Blocked. They get it back with 7. Shot from an angle. Kick save by Carlson. Another one from the right side. And the buzzer will sound, and the Royals fend off the charge in the closing seconds. We'll step aside and be right back with you and Wes Bolin of the Royals. 1-0 after the first period here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena, down to ringside. The third member of our broadcast team, Bill Hupp, with the Woodbury coach.
Thanks, Sam. Coach, outshot in the first period 11-6, but you find yourself only trailing 1-0 after one period of play. What did you think of how your team played in the first?
You know, we played pretty hard. You know, I think we played a lot in their end, even though we didn't get as many shots to the net. We got a little fancy at times and resulted in play coming back the other way. And, you know, Park's a nice hockey team, that's for sure. And we just can't get so fancy in some of our offensive opportunities and passed up a chance on a few shots.
Senior backup Austin Carlson gave up a goal on his first shot he faced, but after that he stopped 10 straight. What did you think of his play in between the pipes?
You know, he bounced back really well, and Austin does that. You know, if somebody gets something on him, he'll bounce back really well. He's a great kid and a real hard worker and pretty skilled goaltender too.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Best of luck in the second period.
Thank you very much.
Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Bill. And Ron, I'll get your 2 cents on that first period. You know, I think these coaches both projected a lower scoring game, and that's what we have through one period, just a 1-0 score.
Yeah, you could tell that they were a little bit nervous out there. Both teams looked like they weren't controlled very well. They were just kind of like shooting here and there and just moving around. But then when they started to pick up a little bit of the pace, it seemed like we had started getting more shots on goal. But everything looks like it's getting into place. I'm expecting a little more hitting in this game, but it's not there yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
First period, a little bit up and down. Maybe the second period, more about physicality. Well, SWCTC is a 35-year-old organization. They bring you your city council meetings and other programming. They also produce stories about people in the community, which include city staff and residents. Recently, they produced a story about Jenny Lawrence, who is the part-time office assistant for the Recreation Department and the Cottage Grove Ice Arena, and has a personal connection to this facility.
I've been doing this job for about 4 years now. I really enjoy working for the city. I've lived here for about 20 years. You know, this is a really great place to live. I love that I work 5 minutes from my house, and I love the flexibility and the people that I work with, and it just makes me really excited to come to work every day. In the summer, I definitely am more dedicated to the recreation side. That could be answering the phones, booking parks, taking in changes from the supervised playground program, making sure everyone's being billed every week. And then in the winter, I deal more with the ice arena side of things. That is booking ice. I make sure that all the paperwork for the high school games is ready to go, and just kind of whatever needs to be done here every day. The most important thing in my life right now is definitely my family. They are the reason that I work here, because it gives me that flexibility to spend more time with them, be more available in their lives. My 20-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, is in her first season working for the ice arena this year. She works in the concession stand. She loves the people that she works with and likes what she's doing. So I also have a 19-year-old son, Brad, and Brad is also an employee here at the arena. He is one of the ice arena assistants. He has been involved in hockey since he was 5 years old. For him to get a job here just kind of completed the circle as an adult now. So I also have a 15-year-old son, Ryan, who is currently in his second year of Bantam, so his last year in youth hockey. Watching my kids play hockey is so exciting. You know, it's just a feeling of pride watching your son out there, watching him score a goal or watching him make a good play. You know, this ice arena, it's a community place. Cottage Grove is known to be a very strong hockey community, and everybody supports each other, and that's, you know, wonderful. And I think that's why both of my kids, once they reached an age where they, you know, needed jobs to put gas in their gas tanks, that this was the first place they looked. We're gonna crash yet. They see how happy I've been working here. They've gotten to know Molly and Jordan over the years and the other people that work here, and they just feel comfortable here. And I know that's what I love most about working here is you do feel comfortable. It's just such a great atmosphere to work in. Molly and Jordan make this an environment that are very open and friendly and make people just want to keep working here.
In a world where keeping our city beautiful matters, we'll pull out all the stops. We send our chief's Chihuahua to check out and sniff out city code violations. You cannot leave appliances, vehicles, or furniture on your lawn. This is a code violation. If you have a yard sale, you must remove your sign when it's done, and don't put a sign up without the property owner's permission. And you cannot leave yard waste out in the open for an extended period of time. If you violate city code, you could be cited criminally, but probably not by this pint-sized pooch. If violations continue, you may be issued a criminal citation for a misdemeanor violation. In that case, you'll need to go to court to answer to a judge. Any questions on code violations, contact Code Enforcement Officer Samantha Drury. You could also go to the city's website.
SWCTC's Hockey Classic is presented by the South Washington County Telecommunications Communications Commission. SWCTC is your place to connect with your community. 1-0 after 17 minutes of play. Let's get to our first half stats and highlights. And the biggest highlight came pretty early in that first period, Ron. It was New Power getting loose right here for the early goal.
Yeah, New Power just picked it right out of that corner. He couldn't miss that one. It looked like Austin Carlson was just getting comfortable, and then it just flew right past him.
His 10th goal of the year. Nice milestone for New Power, the senior, on senior night. The mob scene along the end glass. That was our only goal of period number 1. A 1-0 score. Shots on goal. 11-6 in favor of the Wolfpack. They had one power play chance where they had good zone time but could not convert. Got one shot on that power play. But, I think for the most part, both coaches can be pleased with their team staying out of the box with that one exception for Woodbury.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think, too, that it doesn't quite reflect the shots, don't quite reflect it either. Because it looks like to me that the shot attempts were pretty similar, pretty much the same. It's just that Woodbury wasn't getting theirs all the way through to the net.
We'll take another break and then return with first period analysis, second period preview here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. A 1-goal game heading into the second.
Meet the Emerald Ash Borer, also known as EAB.
Hello!
She's trouble because this one little bug can destroy hundreds of ash trees in any city.
They're my baby's favorite food.
What Miss EAB does is bore into a tree so she can lay her eggs. When hatched, the larva
They're so cute.
eats the tree from the inside out until it develops into an adult beetle.
They grow up so fast.
Please inspect your trees for infestation. Look for S-shaped scars under the bark,
That's my mark.
dead branches, and D-shaped exit holes.
How else do you expect us to get out?
If your ash tree is infested, please consider removing it in the fall, or act now and have your tree treated for this pest.
Don't do that. You're gonna kill us all.
That's the point.
Rats.
You can get more information about the emerald ash borer on the forestry page of Woodbury City website or at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. Let's work together to stop this pest today.
It's a beautiful day for a picnic.
I'll pack the car. We are all set.
Did you reserve the shelter?
Don't miss out on your Woodbury Park adventure. Woodbury has 6 park shelters and 4 park buildings to reserve. Make your reservations at woodburymn.gov today and get out and enjoy your area parks.
Okay, now we're all set.
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Police officers are just like you. We have busy lives too. So we understand busy. We all have that to-do list.
If we stop you because your brake lights, tail lights, or headlights aren't working,
We're not going to pile on an added expense, but we are going to give you a ticket.
It's more like a voucher. We're part of the Lights On program. Take this ticket to Duffy's in St. Paul Park.
And they'll replace your inoperable light free of charge. Why? Because everyone deserves a break every once in a while.
The ice just about clean. Dylan Coulter doing a great job on the Zamboni tonight. Ron Coulter by my side. I'm Sam Ekstrom. The Suburban East Conference right now, Ron, is tightly packed at the top. You got Cretin-Durham Hall and Stillwater, the big 1-2 punch. Cretin-Durham Hall just a point up in the standings on Stillwater, and the Ponies just knocked off the Raiders 6-1 earlier this week. How do you see this conference shaping up right now in terms of the big picture?
Well, what the thing is that you can't really count out White Bear Lake yet. They still have a few more matchups. They had 3. I know they have 1 game today. They're playing Cloquet. Not quite sure how that came out yet, but I wouldn't count them out yet because they were ranked at number 1 this year, and all of a sudden they've had a few problems, and then they started dropping in the rankings. But as of right now, Woodbury's is sitting at the 7th spot, and they're sitting there with 10 points. Park has 9 points. They're in the 8th spot. And with a win tonight, Park could actually jump over them and possibly catch Mounds View.
The coaches were telling me before the game, this is a very top-heavy conference. You got Cretin, Durham Hall, Stillwater, White Bear Lake. But after that, I think there's a lot of parity. Who do you think is the best of the rest in those final 6 spots in the conference right now?
I'm looking at Eastridge, and I'm also looking at Forest Lake. Those 2 teams have been very surprising this year. Their goal scoring. I know Eastridge has Marco Troji, who's got 25 goals this year, which is an incredible number. And I know, Forest Lake, they are no slouches at all. They have great goaltending.
Yeah, their girls program and guys program both playing really good hockey right now. And of course, beyond the conference standings, there's the section standings right now. These teams aren't going to be competing against their conferences in playoff time. It'll be against their respective sections. Park, of course, in Section 3AA. And there's a lot of South Suburban Conference teams in that section, Ron. So maybe teams they haven't played yet. So it's hard to know really where they stand.
Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot for them. They don't know where they're going to end up in the section, because when the seedings come out, it's a whole nother ball game. And when you get to the certain point, if you end up playing a team such as St. Thomas, you run into a buzzsaw right away. And Hastings this year is no slouch. They've got a 16-4 record. So I think that's going to come into play too. They'll have to see where it just falls. I mean, they got a chance to move up here and probably get a better seeding. We'll just have to wait and see.
Jay Mosier seemed to think they were headed for about a 7 seed in Section 3. On the other side, Woodbury in Section 4AA. They're also likely positioned for a 7 or 8 seed. The key for them is to avoid the 8, because then they have to play in the play-in game, 8 versus 9. They'd like to skip that round and get right to the quarterfinal. They've got to compete against teams like Eastridge, as you mentioned, very good, Hill Murray, and Stillwater, the cream of the crop there in Section 4.
Yeah, that's one of the tougher sections to go with. It's going to be hard to get through there. I mean, Stillwater's really been surprising this year too. Yeah, they had a few hiccups, but they're coming on right now.
Heading into this second period, Carlson will be defending the goal right of your screen, and Connor Nelson, the left side of the ice, and the Royals attacking from right to left, trailing by a goal. The Royals went down after 1 period this year, 3-9-1 record. They have 3 comebacks. They trailed 2-0 against Park, came back to win 3-2. They were down 2-0 against Irondale and scored 6 consecutive to win 6-2, and they came back to beat Roseville after a 1-0 first period deficit. On the other side, Park is 3-2-1 when leading after 1 period, and one of those games that they let slip away, of course, against Woodbury. Yeah, Wes Bolin pretty encouraged with that intermission interview with Bill Hupp. He liked the way his team was getting down the ice and producing chances, and offense has been the struggle for Woodbury, and they showed glimpses of that in the first period. What will they produce in period number 2? Have the puck on the edge of the zone right now, poked in by Chapman. And the puck ends up in the crowd, a souvenir for somebody in the first 35 seconds of play.
Yeah, and I think both goaltenders tonight, they're both totally different style goaltenders. First of all, Connor Nelson, he's more of a relaxed player. He doesn't seem to be too jumpy in there. And then you have the other end. You have Carlson, who is a little more active in the crease.
Sources tell me, by the way, Ron, Cloquet beat White Bear Lake 6-2, and Cretin Durham Hall over Forest Lake 7-3. So that Cloquet score very interesting in a non-conference game, 6-2 against the Bears. Puck through neutral ice. Wolfpack with it, looking for their first chance here of the second period on a fresh sheet of ice. Down to get it, Lex Lindau. Lindau, part of that second defensive pairing, loops it around near side. Brandon Greeter trying to emerge with it. Glides toward the puck, banks it ahead toward Thompson. Taken away by Danielson, and a chance in the slot. A shot whipped off the end glass by Quinn Kruger, the multi-sport star and the 2-year captain. Along the end boards, Lindau grappling with Danielson. Wolfpack emerged with it, flipped nearly off that brilliant new scoreboard. It's an icing. A lot of refurbished parts in this arena, Ron. You've got new boards, new glass, new scoreboard, new sound system. What isn't new?
Pretty much everything is new in here. They had to go. They had to go away from the sand floor they used to have underneath the ice because it was not regulation anymore. So they have that too, which makes the ice twice as good as it used to be.
This facility first built in 1974. It's over 45 years old, and it looks like it's brand spanking new right now. Woodbury in its own end. Wolfpack, good forecheck, pick it up. There's New Power teeing up. Jansky on the left point, and cleared by the Royals. That'll be an icing on Woodbury. You mentioned during the intermission the forecheck, that both teams seem to have a fairly easy time transitioning into their offense. Maybe more of that in the second period.
Yeah, they seem to be getting out of their zone pretty quick, and there is that extra guy where that center has to do some work and he has to get in there and start forechecking. Right now I don't really see that. They're coming out really easy.
No shots on goal registered through the first 2 minutes of play in the second period. Widener moved it left side, poked in by Savard. Down to get it. Savard moves to the near side. Cody Mall now. Pressed against the boards. Fourth line on the ice for the Wolfpack, given up to Barry. There's Barry offside as Dylan Chapman just snuck in front of him. That brings a whistle and the puck out of the Woodbury offensive zone. 2.5 minutes played here in the middle period. Woodbury scoreless, as they were the last time these teams played after one period. In that game, Woodbury got goals from Danielson, Zimmerman, and Terrelton. The latter two came on the power play, and Terrelton's came in overtime. You know, in that game, Ron, I don't know if you remember, but Carlson was pulled after one period in that game. He started the first time and struggled in the first period, and he's in net right now for the Royals, watching the puck go by. McCarthy there for the Wolfpack, got it away to Greeter, moved it toward Carlson, who gloves it, and Carlson's looked sharp since that early goal allowed.
Yeah, I was at that game against Park and Woodbury, the last one there, and right away that Woodbury got into some penalty trouble, and that's the reason why the 2 goals were scored right away. And then they just kind of barreled down and they just held on and slowly came back.
Draw one by McCarthy, who winds up with the puck again. Shoots from a tight angle. Puck flutters down in the slot and grabbed by the Royals. They'll try to pass rink wide with Hooley. Moved it ahead, intercepted by the Wolfpack, and they'll bounce it back into their offensive zone. Tipped in to nullify the icing. Schwartzoff will shovel it along. And iced by the Royals. Down in on Nelson. A little bit of a disjointed start to this second period with the Wolfpack holding the lead.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of a little off pace right now. Nobody's really getting any chances, even shots at all. So hopefully that changes really quick.
We are glad you're with us, though, for SWCTC's Hockey Classic tonight. Toward the end of the regular season already in boys hockey, it's hard to believe. Girls hockey's already midway through their section tournaments. They'll have their state tournament coming up here pretty shortly. The season goes so fast. Here's Jansky. Circles it back to center. Youngworth watches it go by. Woodbury enters the zone and quickly loses control. Jansky the other way. Has some pace. Now watches it go on to New Power. Puck flops down to Anderson. And the Royals strip it away and pass wing to wing toward Danielson. Jansky picked it up, swung it to New Power. He'll glide behind Nelson. There's some forechecking from Glazer. Anderson to Widener, looking back for Anderson, picked off. And Cole Heather will dump it out of the zone for the Royals. Past Glazer and most of the way down. New Power hunts down the puck for the Wolfpack. Still no shots on goal in this period. And another icing.
You know, when Jansky had the puck down there, he had it down in the behind the net, and he had Dalton Anderson. He was out there supporting the play, but then after that, nobody came in to help him. And there was four players down there. That has to change. They have to put another guy in there, otherwise they can't win that puck.
You mentioned it in our pregame, but Jansky, a former forward, moved to defense this year. Motor thought it better suited him, and he has thrived with 11 goals from that blue liner role. And he adds almost like a fourth forward mentality on the ice when they've got that top line out there. 5 minutes gone in the second period. Wolfpack trying to develop a rush here that's given back to Zimmerman. Poke to Kalesa, shoots on goal. The save made by Nelson, covering up for the first shot on goal of the middle period.
Yeah, they're going to have to get somebody closer into the net and get some rebounds off the goalies. It seems like everything's being frozen really quick by the goalies because everything's hitting them right in the stomach.
Woodbury on the road for the first time in 5 games. They just finished up a 4-game homestand in which they went 2-2. With wins against Roseville and Moundsview, losses against Forest Lake and Eastridge by matching 4-0 scores. And there's a shot by Greeter from far out, and the easy cover up by Carlson. Take another look. Pretty clear view of that one, no screen. And you thought that maybe on that first New Power goal, he lost sight of the puck briefly, which might have caused it. And there's a good screen in front on the shot from Lindau, and Carlson snares that one.
Yeah, he looked like he was a little bit off of his angle on that first one when he came in. I think he was just a little bit too excited on that one, and he slid over a little bit to his side, and he picked the corner.
That New Power goal holding up. Good speed exhibited here by Dylan Chapman. Chapman centers. And a good opportunity for Myrer in front. He got dumped in the corner. Chapman right back in front. Save Nelson. And Chapman can't regain control. Matthew Thompson dumps Chapman in the corner, and the puck scoots free to center and Greeter. Now McCarthy has it left wing. McCarthy fires wide. Thompson picks it up along the half wall. Some checking there along the blue line. Puck loose. Widener hits McCarthy in front of his own bench. McCarthy slow to get off, and because the puck hit him, I wonder if that's going to be a too many men penalty.
Now it looks like they got away with that one. It looks like New Power didn't touch it, so when the guy came on, it wasn't going to be any call. He got off, the other guy got off the ice.
And there's that chance from Chapman just moments ago, point blank. And still discussion in front of Jay Mosier, the former Gopher winger. They'll remain full strength here. Neutral zone draw. Widener, the assist master, with a blast over top of everything.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen it hit that up there.
That's uncharted territory in the rafters.
Trying to put a black mark on that White Wolf side up there.
He doesn't like the refurbished amenities, apparently. There's Anderson in front, unable to corral it. Ben Tarleton the other way. Tarleton was the hero, and these teams played back on January 9th, just 30 days ago. Loose for Fitopoulos. He flips it up past Widener and into the corner. Jansky overskated it. Instead, it's grabbed by Charles Schuyler. He'll circle one toward the net, and Nelson scoops it up with 10:09 to go in the period.
That was kind of a sneaky shot, a little bit of a turnaround. I don't know if he was really expecting it right away.
Woodbury, now with 9 shots on goal, they average 23 on the year. They've been outshot in 15 of 22 games. And they win the draw cleanly in the offensive zone. Cycled left point. Connor Hansen sends it toward the net. A rebound off the end boards. Went dangerously in front. Luke Danielson nearest to it. Connor Hansen again keeps it at the point. Quinn Kruger watching that one fall down in the corner off the netting. Another stoppage. Kruger, the captain.
It is amazing how similar they are in the numbers and the stats of these two teams. You know, even with power plays, penalty kills, everything, it's pretty similar. Goals against.
Park has scored 53 goals on the year. Woodbury, 43 goals on the year. with just a handful remaining. There's a tip, and the Royals building some momentum here, middle of the second period, making Nelson work a little bit. Loose puck, flutters out to center ice. Caleb Craven marked there and checked into the boards, and here are the Wolfpack. A blast from the left circle. Save made by Carlson. That shot coming from Anderson. Here's another look. I beg your pardon, that was Widener.
Yeah, Widener has a pretty good shot. Normally he'll take a slap shot at that point, but it looks like he's just trying to pick a corner.
Next dead puck we'll hear from Bill Hupp. We've got a board battle on the end boards. Now looped around to the far side. Wolfpack controlling the zone. Centered out front, high slot blast. And Lindau's shot went off into the corner, didn't hit his stick squarely. Andrew Zimmerman shoved along left point. There's a one-timer into the corner. Deflects out to the left wing. Woodbury moves it back to Lindau and ahead to McCarthy. Onside with Thompson. McCarthy controlling next to Glazer, who presses him against the boards. Frozen puck there in a mass of humanity. Someone's got to get their crowbar. Pushing, shoving, everybody's tangled. And I think a penalty is going to come as a result. There was a lot of tangled bodies and limbs.
Looks like we got the Woodbury going to go there.
Woodbury is going to be penalized. At least their door was open, and nope, now they've closed it, and McCarthy's going in for a Wolfpack penalty. And while they sort that out, let's take a look at this first. Oh. There's McCarthy with the high stick and then wrapping it up against the helmet of Glazer. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost his balance and the stick was too high and he couldn't control it. Just hit him right in the top of the shoulder.
Our first look at the Woodbury power play, and sorry, Bill, we'll put you on hold till the next dead puck. That was an eventful moment. Royals with possession here, offensive zone. They're trying to score their 17th power play goal of the year. They're 20% on the man advantage. And they'll have to regroup with Ben Tarleton. He's their power play magician. 6 power play goals, coming off a hat trick 2 games ago against Roseville. He's matched his goal total from last season with 7. Iced again, Tarleton. Gears up behind Carlson. He speeds across center. Tarleton doing it by himself. Down the middle. Distributes off to the right wing. Shoveled in by Danielson, their leader in goals with 8. Thompson checked against the boards. Kept in by Danielson, and Thompson will clear it. Approaching the halfway mark of the power play time. Tarleton's going to stay on the ice. The junior defenseman looks up ice, holding, scoots it off right wing, chipped away by the Wolfpack at center. Getting more physical here after that skirmish. Tarleton involved with Widener at neutral ice. Meanwhile, Ben Cheetah enters the zone. Rim of the circle, Cheetah. High slot as they get set up. There's a wrister wide left from Tyler Berry. Backhanded by Chapman. Up top again, Berry fires, wants the tip, rebound chance, goes wide. Schwartzoff made the bid. Now in the left dot, Cheeto once more. Berry, wrister. Save made by Nelson. Some primo chances for the Royals. And now a loose puck in the slot, and they blew it dead. With 8 seconds left in the power play. And some punches after the whistle.
Yeah, after he made that save, though, it saw Widener. He punched it out of there before they had a chance to get to it.
Let's get down to Bill Hupp for a report.
Oh, guys, we talked about Ryan McCarthy, how we noted how he went off. I checked with the medical staff for Park, and they said he just got the wind knocked out of him, so missed a shift but came back and obviously just took that high sticking penalty.
Good stuff, Bill. Thanks. Final seconds of this first Woodbury power play. It's been an eventful one. A productive power play, but bearing no fruit as of yet. Nelson right now is being tended to. Not sure what the issue might be. Something with the helmet, it appears.
Yeah, it looks like a piece might have come off where his it snaps together.
Nelson last year, part-time goaltender, made 10 starts, went 3-7. He's upped his save percentage by 6% this year, a great margin of improvement. The official giving him a hand. Mosier right now is perplexed, I think, as to why the delay. He just had his arms outstretched. Mosier formerly played at St. Cloud State and the University of Minnesota, drafted by the Bruins in the 8th round, and then played 3 seasons semi-professionally. Former coach at Hamlin. No worse for the wear is Nelson, and the final seconds will tick off this power play. Woodbury trying to keep the zone as McCarthy gets out of the box. Here comes Greeter with the Wolfpack full strength. Both teams now 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Quinn Kruger works it to Danielson. Danielson strides after it in the corner, up against Jansky. Flopped out, right point, and poked to center. Connor Hansen down to get it in his own corner. Danielson gave it up to Jansky here, right circle. Jansky, tight angle, shot on Carlson, who upends a Wolfpack and makes the save.
Carlson shows some great reactions on that save. It hit the pad and it came popping out, and he covered that right away. Looks like it wasn't really a problem for him.
The senior's done a nice job, with Josh Davis getting the night off tonight. Davis has contributed on varsity for 3 seasons. Carlson, a 1-game contributor last year, as he covers up here right off the draw.
Yeah, that was a quick snapshot by McCarthy. Got that as soon as he took the face off.
In Carlson's last start 5 games ago, he lost 4-1 at Stillwater, the number 2 team in the conference, facing 32 shots. He's made 14 saves out of 15 tonight. 5:45 to go in the second period. Puck fired into the corner. Nelson plays it, as he's prone to do, and swept out by the Wolfpack. Nearest to it, Tarleton. He'll circumvent the net and fire it most of the way down the rink. Was it tipped? Nope, that's an icing.
Yeah, Tarleton, he knows how to control the puck. He's got a lot of speed that he builds up from back there. Usually, if you do that, he can get a poke check. He can probably go the other way. So he's got to be a little more careful over there.
The draw will come back in the Woodbury end. Second line on the ice for the Wolfpack. Lindau looking for a tip from Greeter in front. That's poked back. Thompson misses the net, which got dislodged.
Yeah, the one thing about the nets here at Cottage Grove, they're pretty easy to knock off. My son used to play here, and I know the feeling. You know, it happens quite a bit.
Yeah, I think certainly a safety reasoning behind that. They want the nets to come loose if somebody crashes in, but it can also stymie some chances here and there. Greeter grappling, wrestling behind the net. Grabbed by Cheetah. And looks like Greeter got mixed up with Kruger behind the play. Check that. Barry behind the play.
Yeah, it looks like they're both going to be going coincidentals.
Greeter and Barry escorted to the box with 5:03 to go in the second period.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get a roughing call, both of them. They were tangled up pretty good back there.
They'll stay 5-on-5. Offensive zone draw for the Wolfpack, and they blow it dead. These teams split last year in the season series. Year before that, Park won one, tied one. Year before that, it was Woodbury with the clean sweep. So it's been up and down in this rivalry. Woodbury trying to track it down behind Nelson, who's pitching a shutout so far. Youngworth along the wall. Moved it forward to Newpower. Looking for Anderson, now trailing the play. Anderson crashing the net. And a good save by Carlson. Puck skitters back out to neutral. Lindau. Now move forward past Anderson, who chips it in. Zimmerman battling for the Royals. Wolfpack possess at the point. Lindau bluffed at the shot. Went off left point. There's a bank off the inboards. Newpower couldn't follow it up. And it's hacked out by the Royals. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the frame. Lucio circled around far side. Trying to set up Newpower there on the left wing. Instead, the Royals counter the other direction. Zimmerman tees up Kruger, who blasted one wide left. Kruger was slapping the ice, wanting that shot, and he got exactly what he was hoping for. And now Danielson on the break. Danielson upended there before he could control the shot. Wolfpack emerge. Savard pumps the brakes, looks in front. Wanted the tip from Thompson. Now we're seeing some more up and down. Kruger and Danielson. The shot from Kruger steers off to the near side glass. Savard again. Savard tries to go left wing. Loose puck in the slot. Here come the Royals once more. They leave the puck behind. Now trailing the play, Tarleton. Tarleton in the slot. Hit the post. Tarleton rings the pipe. And now on the break the other way, it's Anderson. He backhands one out of play.
Boy, this is coming more of a tactical game, it looks like to me. They're just kind of like slowly going into the zone, looking for players and trying to get the best shot they possibly can. And that one just clinked right off the post. There's nothing you can say about that one except for maybe next time.
That's a good defensive play by Logan Schwartzhoff to get back and defend that Anderson attempt. Wonder if the teams are getting fatigued here, not getting back quite as easily on defense. Meanwhile, the Royals with Cole Heather down the middle, sent one wide. It's ping pong right now, up and down. Our necks craning back and forth. Puck loose at center. Final 3 minutes of the second period. No goals in this period that's become awfully exciting in the latter half. Cole Heather angles a pass that's picked off. Newpower evades the check of Heather. Newpower to the middle. Newpower, and they go in front for Colin Youngworth, and he can't connect. Glazer dumps it in and changes for the Royals. Wolfpack give it up to the forecheck of Myra. Looks like a penalty's coming in the corner.
Yeah, it looks like we got a hooking call against Wanuka.
Wanuka to the box, and Woodbury will get a second power play this period.
That last rush by Park, though, looks like they had a chance at the little tic-tac-toe play, but couldn't produce it.
Dare I say that Woodbury's looked like the better team in this period. They've outshot Park 7-5. And now another chance to build some momentum going into the third period, whether they can score or not. That's going to be the kicker. Tarleton, who hit the pipe just moments ago. Kruger, Tarleton, a blast off the end boards and tipped into the netting. Another offensive zone draw, I believe, for the Royals. We'll have Jay Mosier for our second intermission interview. And then another great package for you about Woodbury youth hockey. This is actually brought out to neutral ice, I beg your pardon. Royals win the draw. Aiden Hooley touted it in. Slapped into the corner and promptly cleared by the Wolfpack. Thompson trying to make something happen shorthanded. Carlson plays the puck, flings it to Kruger. 3 straight years a double-digit point getter for the Royals. Kruger gives it off to Hooley. Hooley centers. Feigning on the shot was Andrew Zimmerman. Tarleton again winding up the attack off the end glass. Got it back. Tarleton flying through everybody right now. Battles with teammate Luke Danielson for the puck. Wolfpack endeavoring to clear. They do. All the way down on Carlson. Barry picks it up. And slingshots forward. Pass goes behind Dylan Chapman. Picked up by Barry. Onside at the line. Half a minute to play in the frame. Barry, a wrister. Hit a body in front. Schuyler grappling for possession along the end boards. Schuyler helped out by Cheetah. 15 seconds to go in the period. Cheetah looking in front, holding the puck back to the net. Barry with 5 seconds. Got a tip into the netting, down to 3.4.
Yeah, it looks like they're moving the puck pretty well, but they just can't get that shot on net.
Woodbury with 2 pretty successful looking power plays, trying to generate that golden chance. Wanutka in the box for the hook. 3.4. Kruger has to win the draw. He does. And they do get a shot from Tarleton, saved by Nelson. Woodbury got exactly what they wanted out of that faceoff. It's the 14th shot on goal this game. And a good period for the Royals. Goes for naught. They can't close that deficit. Still 1-0 after 2. We'll step aside.
Police officers are just like you. We have busy lives too. So we understand busy. We all have that to-do list.
If we stop you because your brake lights, tail lights, or headlights aren't working,
We're not going to pile on an added expense, but we are going to give you a ticket.
It's more like a voucher. We're part of the Lights On program. Take this ticket to Duffy's in St. Paul Park.
And they'll replace your inoperable light free of charge. Why? Because everyone deserves a break every once in a while.
Bill Hupp has Jay Mosier behind the benches. Take it away, Bill.
Coach, you're ahead 1-0 after 2 periods of play. How do you like? What do you think about how your team's playing so far?
Well, I'm happy with how they've been playing. They've have a lot of energy out there. They've done pretty well defensively, and they put pucks to the net. So overall, I'm pretty happy.
You're pitching a shutout at the moment. However, they hit a post in that period and outshot you. What do you want to tighten up defensively for the third period?
Now, we have to settle down a little bit. We start to get a little nervous, and we start losing guys. We start running around a little bit. So we just have to calm down and remember, our core principles, and that's defensive positioning, smart sticks, and containment. And if we can do that, we'll be all right.
Must be nice to have a netminder like Connor Nelson in between the pipes, though.
Absolutely. He's our backbone, and when he plays well, we have a chance to win. So can't say enough good things about Connor, and he's playing another good one tonight.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck in the third period.
All right, thank you.
Sam, back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Bill. SWCTC is presenting tonight's Hockey Classic and brings you local programming every day on cable channels 16 and 18 and online at swctc.org. Let's step aside briefly and then be back with you for that Woodbury Youth Hockey Package. Don't go anywhere.
skate all night if you want. That's fine with me. It's good for you, but you're not getting better if you're not working hard. Right leg, left leg. It started with my oldest son, Kyle, and he was at the age where he wanted to start playing hockey. I hadn't played for a number of years and was kind of looking forward to getting back and watching my son play, so I volunteered to be an assistant coach of the Termites. Outside edges, left leg, outside edges, right leg. Outside edges, ride that edge. I really enjoy hanging out with the boys. They're fun to be around. It's really a fun age group. I have two of my sons who have been coaching with me for the last 6-7 years. What I enjoy most about coaching with my sons is, number one, they hang out with me. It's actually easier coaching when your sons aren't players. They are willing to give me feedback that perhaps another coach may or may not be able to. The relationship of being father-son is different than two coaches working together. Dane, you want to pull him in and say something?
It's been really enjoyable. This is the third year that I've coached with my dad. I think just having the close relationship with him, we're able to be open and just say the things that sometimes need to be said.
2-on-1 with Benny.
Having a dad as a coach, sometimes that boundary gets a little blurred. I definitely think coaching alongside him has brought us closer together, and I've enjoyed being a part of his coaching staff a lot.
They're prime age for learning. They're so open to learning new things. They're teachable. They haven't got set in their ways. So it's a real window to say, we can work on these skills. And everybody's good at some stuff, and everybody needs help with others. And they're like sponges at this age. So it's great and fun to be around those kids and helping them. Somewhere in your career, there's going to be a team you're going to make or not make. And it might come down to the guy who listened and did what the coach said.
I think growing up for our family, a big part of the winter season was hockey. I think it's just been something that's brought our family together.
Listen! I take it a year at a time. This year I'm good. Next year, God willing, and my wife is okay with it. Maybe we'll do another year, maybe we won't, but we'll see. It has been fun and entertaining and everything I could have wanted in a hockey experience. Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about!
Sam Ekstrom, Ron Coulter back with you at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. Remember, SWCTC provides programming for the cities of Woodbury, Cottage Grove, Newport, Gray Cloud Island, and St. Paul Park. Find out about people, places, and activities in your community. See them daily on Cable Channel 18 or on your city's YouTube channel. Ron, I think this is shaping up for a fantastic third period. Shots are fairly even. The play has been equal back and forth, and Woodbury, the team that's trailing, seems to be gathering momentum. We could be in for a frenetic third period here.
Well, I totally agree with that. I think there's also going to be a chance that we could see a few more power plays, and I think they're going to be the key part of this game. If they could stay out of the box, then we'll see what happens. But I've got to believe there's going to be some more hitting. But they also got to be careful not to be going to the box.
Let's check out our second period highlights and statistics from this one. Just one goal in this game scored in the first period. The second period featured some great scoring chances, however. Right there, Woodbury, point blank. That opportunity from Dylan Chapman. And the other way, Jack Widener with the shot from the left dot on Carlson. And here is that skirmish in front of the bench, and McCarthy picking up the high sticking penalty as a result, and that wound up in Woodbury ending the period in a power play. They didn't generate quite as many good chances as they'd hoped, but they were fluttering around the net. Ben Tarleton hit a post earlier in the period as well. And there's Winutka heading off to the box. Two penalties taken in the second period by the Wolfpack, and that's how the second period ended, with a Nelson save. He's saved all 14 shots he's faced so far. Shots on goal in favor of Park, 16-14. Both teams fruitless on the power play. And it could come down to special teams in this one.
Yeah, I totally agree that's going to happen too. I've also seen that Nelson looks like he's even getting stronger throughout the game. Same with Carlson. I don't know what's going to happen here, but hopefully we're going to have an epic ending.
For all Nelson's accolades, he does not have a shutout this year. Is tonight the night? We'll find out in the third period here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena on SWCTC. It's the Hockey Classic.
Police officers are just like you. We have busy lives too. So we understand busy. We all have that to-do list.
If we stop you because your brake lights, tail lights, or headlights aren't working,
We're not going to pile on an added expense, but we are going to give you a ticket. It's more like a voucher. We're part of the Lights On program. Take this ticket to Duffy's in St. Paul Park.
And they'll replace your inoperable light free of charge. Why? Because everyone deserves a break every once in a while.
It's a beautiful day for a picnic.
I'll pack the car. We are all set.
Did you reserve the shelter?
Don't miss out on your Woodbury Park adventure. Woodbury has 6 park shelters and 4 park buildings to reserve. Make your reservations at woodburymn.gov today and get out and enjoy your area parks.
Okay, now we're all set.
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Meet the Emerald Ash Borer, also known as EAB.
Hello!
She's trouble because this one little bug can destroy hundreds of ash trees in any city.
They're my baby's favorite food.
What Miss EAB does is bore into a tree so she can lay her eggs. When hatched, the larva
They're so cute.
eats the tree from the inside out until it develops into an adult beetle.
They grow up so fast.
Please inspect your trees for infestation. Look for S-shaped scars under the bark,
That's my mark.
dead branches, and D-shaped exit holes.
How else do you expect us to get out?
If your ash tree is infested, please consider removing it in the fall, or act now and have your tree treated for this pest.
Don't do that. You're going to kill us all.
That's the point.
Rats.
You can get more information about the Emerald Ash Borer on the forestry page of Woodbury City website or at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. Let's work together to stop this pest today.
Welcome back to Cottage Grove. Park 1, Woodbury 0. Heading to the third period, the Royals retaking the ice. But since we're in Park here, Ron, you know the faces of the 8 seniors are lining glass in the corner of the ice, and I think it's worth mentioning a few of their names, particularly Matthew Thompson, the senior, with 12 goals. Carter Newpower now with 10, and of course Brandon Greeter with 12 points this year, amongst others. What do you think that they've really contributed to this program, and what impact have they had on this team?
A lot of it has got to do with leadership. I know Matthew Thompson pretty well. Actually, he's grown up in our neighborhood, and I've seen him for a long time. He has a twin sister. She's actually a volleyball player too at Park, and I know she does very well too in sports. Both kids in the family, and they're both very tall. And I know for a fact that their dad is very tall. So Matt's been a great kid. He is a really good kid. And I know a lot of the other seniors, too. I know Brandon Greeter. My son played with his brother. His brother was a hockey player a couple years ago. And they were both great kids. And I know the Greeter family. They're very well respected in the community.
And Ryan McCarthy, Keegan Wanutka, Jackson Nelson, Brett Hill, and Lex Lindau, the other 5 comprising the 8-man senior class for Park of Cottage Grove. And Woodbury on their side, they have 11 seniors that will have a senior night of their own coming up. They've got 2 home games left against Irondale and against Tartan before starting their playoff run on February 19th. Park begins their playoff push February 18th, trying to get to Braemar Arena. That's the end goal in the section final on February 22. Woodbury trying to get to Aldrich on Feb 26. And Woodbury awaiting the Wolfpack here to start the third period. And they start with 15 seconds of power play time. Royals will go from left to right against Nelson. Nelson, a junior goaltender. He's going to have some gaudy statistics when his career is all said and done after 10 starts as a sophomore and 23 of them now as a senior. Woodbury gets the first shot attempt of the third period. It was taken by Schwartzhoff. Puck winds up in front of the Wolfpack bench. Hooley got tripped down and the puck jarred free to Tarleton. And one last note on Nelson. He actually was dealing with an illness last week. Jonah Frost got a start against Eastview, and they lost 6-0. That was the one game he hasn't started this season. Wolfpack with the puck. Alex Glazer. Double team there along the end boards. Woodbury trying to get it with Kruger and Schwartzhoff, and now ahead to Hooley. Giving away to Greeter at neutral ice. Slides it on to Kruger, and he'll circle with it. Kruger across center, dumps it in and changes, but they send Chapman speeding after it to contest Nelson. Flipped along in the corner, and now played toward the net front. Widener ripped it away. Nice job by Jack Widener. It will be, however, an icing. Just over a minute gone here in the third.
Yeah, I know with that illness last week to Connor Nelson, they had a problem where there was only 2 goalies that were available. So in the JV game that they had to actually pull their goalie out because they didn't want him to get hurt. So they were playing with the guy that was standing right in front of the crease, which was kind of a funny situation.
And what does Nelson do in his first game back? He only beats Stillwater, makes 49 saves. 16-14 shots on goal here in favor of the Wolfpack. Another tightly contested game between these 2 clubs. 2 of their last 3 have been decided by 1 goal. Both of them 3-2. Newpower countering and passing cross ice. It was interrupted but not intercepted. Newpower gets it back, looking for Jansky, who veers to the corner. Back for Newpower. Carter Newpower trying to set up Lucio. Around it goes. Newpower gets it back. It hit the official and got left behind. Poked out toward the point. McCrae Gordon, part of that third line for the Royals. Given up now to neutral. Lucio pushed it into Anderson. He'll shoot one toward the net. Rebound permitted, and it winds up behind. Cheetah living up to his name, moving quickly into the corner. Falls down there, crashes into the boards. And a loose puck at the dot. Savard for the Wolfpack. Rink wide pass, slammed in. Fresh bodies coming on the ice for Park. Meanwhile, they keep Savard down low. Savard to Widener, the assist leader. Loops it all the way around. That'll exit the point. And right back into Savard here. The third period has not been good for the Wolfpack this season. Outscored 36-11. Tarleton lost the handle all the way back toward Carlson. When leading after 2, the Wolfpack are 5-2-1 this year. They lost leads against Woodbury and Bloomington Jefferson. The Royals are 1-11 when trailing after 2, and the 1 win against Park.
Well, that 1-11 is actually from, the lack of goal scoring. And if they can produce right now, if they can get some goal scoring, maybe put a little muscle on them, they might be all right.
There's a shot from distance and a rebound saved by Nelson. He's eating everything up in the blue paint. That was Luke Danielson on the doorstep. Danielson's got great size in there, though, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, definitely. And Connor Nelson, he's pretty much playing right inside of that net almost, and they're not getting a second chance.
Thompson at center. Fluttered down toward Greeter. Picked up first by Zimmerman. Thompson hovering over the puck. Greeter pinching in to help there. And the Royals come away with it right wing side. Kruger from the half wall, flips it in again, looking for a rebound. The net comes loose. Tyler Berry crashing in. Berry's been a lightning rod at times this game. He and Widener got tangled up. And this should be a Royals offensive zone draw.
But that breakout there created a 3-on-2, and he just tried to throw the puck to the net, hoping for a rebound chance. But Nelson was up to the task, and he just flipped it away.
Shots on goal now tied at 17 apiece. Out to center. In front of the penalty boxes. Teams playing 5-on-5 right now. They are a collective 0 for 3 on the power play. Woodbury 0 for 2, Wolfpack 0 for 1. Saucer pass, Widener fires one toward Carlson. Didn't reach the target and cleared. Widener down to get it. Spinning puck. He shoots it right wing side. Now flown rink wide to Anderson. Cheetah tried to bank it ahead. Anderson picked it, and now Widener slaps a pass into the corner. Newpower hustles after it. Carter Newpower. Rimmed along the end boards. Royals cycling at center. Floated into the corner. There's a change, and some of the Royals have to go a long way to make that change. Wolfpack developing their attack now with just over 12 minutes to go and a 1-goal lead. Park will get bodies off, but Thompson stays in the zone, and Thompson circles wide, shoots one off the side of the netting and into the mesh above Carlson.
He had a little bit of that corner to shoot at, but it looks like it just got away from him a little bit.
And here's Widener with that last shot. And with that screen in front, they're lucky that didn't go all the way in. Royals control the draw. Quickly coughed up far side. Tarleton, the captain, brought it out. Right back in come the Wolfpack. Thompson shot, blocked down by Schwartzhoff. And again, the Wolfpack re-enter. Tight angle shot, kicked away by Carlson. Widener dumped it in. Cheetah tracked it down. Cheetah. Myrer, and out to Widener at neutral ice. He takes a check from Cheetah. Carlson plays the puck. Still 1-0 Wolfpack. Our only goal coming 2:48 into play. Trying to split the season series is Park. Puck flopped out to neutral. Schwartzhoff dumped it in. His teammates touch up. Widener, long two-line pass all the way in on Carlson, and he will cover. And it works out for Park. They'll get an offensive zone draw.
That little pass turned into a pretty good shot, actually. It was kind of fluttering as it got to the goaltender, but he was able to handle it.
You've done official scoring before. You give a shot on goal for that?
Actually, I do. I do. If it's going to go in the net, it's got to be a shot.
Letter of the law. Right off the draw, there's another pipe hit. They're abusing that net at that end. It was Tarleton in the last period, and now New Power narrowly missing. That top line for Park trying to generate an insurance goal. Kruger out to Danielson. And Danielson weaves through the circle. Danielson poked toward Nelson. He'll stick it aside. Jansky distributes to the right side. And now Lindau has it poked away. Aiden Hooley behind the net. Off the back of the netting. Hooley shoveled it along. Quinn Kruger right there. Goes wing to wing with Zimmerman. Dislodged from Zimmerman. New Power near the puck as well. It's kept in. Gordon shot it into the corner. Royals keeping the zone well here. Under 10 minutes to play. Nudged out by Thompson. And the puck loose all the way back for Barry. Barry sends it to an open patch of ice for an icing. 20-18 shots on goal, Park, and they just about made it 2-0. And here's that last post hit. It was actually Anderson who released it.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about Sam Jansky, he doesn't really waste a lot of energy when he's out there too, and he just gets in position and knows where to be.
Draw one by the Wolfpack, quick shot and boards, looking for a rebound, and Carlson, savvy to it, picks up the puck. And another draw coming, this time to Carlson's left.
It almost looks like they're trying not to make a mistake right now.
Back to the right point, cycled down low, Savard. Taken away by Cheetah. Bumped ahead, Gordon. Kept in the zone briefly by the Wolfpack. And Meyer getting there. Now following up, Wanutka. Meyer helping out. And the Royals taking the puck away with Cheetah to Gordon. Gordon trying to cruise out of the zone. It evaded his stick. Down to 8:50 remaining. Here's Wanutka. He'll flip it in. You know, Coach Mosier was unsure about his third and fourth lines tonight, but we've seen a lot of different bodies out there because of some of those injuries and illnesses. He only had the top two solidified as of this afternoon. Cheetah. Shot from the point by Jansky, caught with the glove of a Royal and sent down to the ice. Spun out and all the way down on Nelson. He'll move it back up ice quickly to Greeter. Greeter enters the zone. Tried to shoot. Now gets one off over the net. And it skitters back to the right point. Checked by Dylan Chapman. Greeter forces it into the corner. Slid on net. Carlson covers. 8 minutes left. Getting to crunch time here, Ron.
Yeah, that would have been a icing down there. But Nelson saw a break and he saw everybody changing, so he pushed it up. Tried to get something happen on the other end.
He's got some great ice vision. Let's take a look at this breakout. Greeter eventually got that shot over the goal, and it wound up in an offensive zone draw, but a fruitless one for the Wolfpack. The Royals turn it over. Good forecheck. Here's Anderson attempting the backhand. Taken away by Hansen. Royals started this period on a short power play. Had some good looks, but have not been able to break up the goose egg on the scoreboard. In danger of being shut out for the 8th time, 2nd consecutive game, and 3rd in 5. This could be the first shutout win this year for Park if it holds. Still a lot of hockey left. Sent to Danielson. And covered up by Nelson. 7:07 left.
Yeah, I don't think Park's holding their breath on this one because I believe they know what can happen. They know their stats. So I think they're going to be tight, and they're going to tighten up here.
Aiming for their 4th home win this season. If the shots on goal numbers hold, it would be the 6th time this year they've outshot their opponent. Draw taken by the Wolfpack. Careening down the ice is Thompson. Loose high slot. Overskating it there was Kalesa. And an icing on Park. So we move down to 6:47. The draw comes into the Park end.
Yeah, this time of the game, you want to make sure that everything you're doing is right. You don't want to do unnecessary icings or unnecessary penalties right now.
No penalties called here in the 3rd period. Another defensive zone draw won by the Wolfpack. That could be a key stat here in this 3rd. McCarthy. Ryan McCarthy evades one Royal. Now locked in a battle with Cheetah. Gritty play there by McCarthy in the corner. Taken away by Kruger. Up ahead and up in the air. Chapman brought it down and watches Widener circle behind his cage. Good passing by the defenseman. And ahead it goes to Greeter. Greeter with a nice move to the middle. Greeter tries to shoot one. His teammate Newpower was occupying the same space and they sort of collided. Now Jansky tees one up, left dot. And a save by Carlson. Jansky trying to break this game open.
That was good idea by Jansky, but there was nobody in front of Carlson, and he saw that one all the way.
Sam Jansky, big-time player. As a freshman last year, had 17 points. He's got 16 points this year as a sophomore. He's flip-flopped with more goals this year than assists. It was the inverse a year ago. That time, Jansky goes to an open corner, picked up by Tarleton. Who's going to make a big-time play for Woodbury right now? Looking for the equalizer. Gordon across the blue line. Offside.
Yeah, there's a last-second poke check which knocked him off sides there, and the faceoff will come outside of the zone.
Another draw one on the defensive half of the ice for the Wolfpack. Dumped in by the Royals. Nelson will play it. Jansky got turned around, shovels it off for McCarthy. Check that. Minutka. Dumped out, and Tarleton will pursue it in his own end. Circling forward is Tarleton. Jansky plays it for the Wolfpack. Move towards Savard, intercepted by Gordon. And the Royals keeping the offensive zone for a moment, but Greeter will exit for Park to center. Fired in past Nelson. Uses the stick to play it. Past Greeter. Retained by Schwartzhoff. Nelson, an aggressive play there, and Kruger unable to handle it in the corner. That was risky. Trying to break out there with Wanutka, and he's unable to make that play. That was a very bold play of the puck by Nelson.
Yeah, Connor Nelson almost got away from him right there. I don't think he saw the other guy coming around the corner when he went out to play that.
For those who follow the Minnesota Wild, it's a little bit Alex Stalock-like. He's very comfortable leaving his net. He's a true hockey player. Wants to be on his skates. There's a quick shot off the faceoff. Kruger running to it. Blocked the clearance attempt. But the Wolfpack get the job done out to Thompson. No goals in the last 43+ minutes of ice time in this game. Controlled behind the net, centered in front. They score! Woodbury ties the game at 1.
That was a little bit of a flip pass there, and then it got right on his stick, and he popped it right over the top of him.
Danielson, the team leader, gets it done on the centering feed. 4:18 to go.
Danielson, he has a knack for the net. He's seems to be in front of the net all the time. Yeah, and that just popped over the side of the goalie, right over his blocker.
His 9th of the year. Nelson's shutout bid comes 4:18 short. And at the 12:42 mark of the third, Woodbury breaks up the shutout. And how good does that feel for West Boland's team?
Oh, I'm sure he's pretty excited right now. But they also have to be careful right now on those icings, because faceoffs are going to be a huge part of the game right now.
Now the momentum with the visiting Royals, looking for win number 7 on their season. Quick shot off the draw taken by Myrer. And now the Wolfpack control behind Nelson. Jansky dumps it out toward Youngworth. And Jansky now chasing after it. Getting there first is Chapman. Chapman tried to center for Myrer in front. There's Cheetah. Cheetah looks toward the net. He'll backhand in front. It is Myrer once more. Berry poked on by Cheetah. Myrer looking for Chapman. And the Wolfpack will fire it into the bench. Clock stops with 3:26.
Yeah, it looks like the Wolfpack are reeling just a little bit. They can't seem to get it out of the zone. They're trying both sides, but they seem to be covering it. Good forecheck by Woodbury.
The third period hijinks have returned. Another third period outscored for the Wolfpack. Now the margin 37-11 this season. Woodbury wins the faceoff. Gliding with it, Tarleton. Are we destined for another overtime between these two clubs?
I wouldn't put it past him. Right there, he almost shot it in his own net.
Got to be careful at this stage. Somebody without a stick, that's Greeter. Greeter hops right back up and plays the puck with the recently recovered piece of lumber. 2-on-2, here's Thompson. Thompson drops it. Widener misses the net. And back to get it at neutral are the Wolfpack. Under 3 to go. Aggressive forechecking there by Gordon. Here comes Park the other way. Poked back to Widener. Wolfpack trying to get some changes made. Meanwhile, Tarleton brings it in. His drop pass got past Gordon. Gordon regathered it though at the point. Hit an official. Helter-skelter right now. Park 2-on-3. That got dropped back for Gordon. Here comes Gordon with 2:15 to go. He did a pirouette and went down to the ice. And the crowd really getting into this one right now, living and dying with every rush. In on net, and another productive non-icing by the Wolfpack, and that'll get them a draw near Carlson.
Yeah, the play's looking like it's getting a little bit wild out there.
Fun for us, fun for the fans, probably the players, maybe not the coaches.
No, they're the ones who have the heart attacks over there when that happens.
Dan Peters, that newly acquired sort of defensive coordinator for Park, maybe sweating a little bit. 1-1 tie. Tyler Berry. That's angled up just out of the zone. Joey Myrer angling to his left. Off the boards, Myrer chases it down. End up there against Lindau. 90 seconds left in regulation. Chapman from the dot. Zings a shot right on goal, and Nelson covers it up with 86 seconds to go.
Well, it doesn't seem like the puck wants to stick on to the Park players' sticks right now, because it seems like Woodbury is getting more momentum as it goes along. Let's see what happens when we only got about 1:26 left to go.
It's Kruger. Losing that draw, the Wolfpack stuck in their own end. Puck rolling and out to Thompson. Thompson, flanked by Widener. His shot ramped up into the netting. Clock down to 1:12.
A good defensive play there by Woodbury to keep him on the outside. Didn't have a chance to pass it to that middle.
Thompson on the draw. Lucio behind him at the point. Over to Greeter in the corner. Rims around. It'll be taken by the Royals the other way. Luke Danielson, who just tied the game with an equalizing goal. Now to the point. Less than a minute to go. Shot from the point blocked. Shot by Hooley, steered into the corner. Now Kruger. Rimmed around where McCarthy picks it up for the Wolfpack. McCarthy moves out to Thompson. Thompson goes wide, backhands it, and then recovers it. Huge check there laid by Tarleton with 35 seconds remaining. Schwartzoff got it out. Here's Gordon with speed. Gordon got bumped down. They'll swallow the whistles here in the final 30 seconds. And the Wolfpack trying to get a rush of their own. Winutka. Anderson along the boards. Crashing in is Schuyler. Anderson trying to center. He's got Winutka out in the net mouth. Royals double team the puck there in the corner. Wolfpack keep the zone. Shot by Jansky, blocked and caught by Carlson with 2.4.
Oh, that was a great block by the Woodbury player sliding across the net. And it was like a fly ball there for Carlson.
That's who you want shooting that shot with the buzzer about to sound. Well, we saw this at the end of the second period where they had to win the draw and get a shot on goal, and Woodbury managed to do so. Can the Wolfpack win at the buzzer? Royals packing bodies in front of the net, and we're headed to overtime. In the SWCTC Hockey Classic, what other result would you expect? Extra time here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. Let's step aside quickly here for the pre-overtime intermission. Timeouts on the benches. A dramatic finish in store. "90 seconds from overtime here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena." Sam Ekstrom and Ron Coulter. Let's take a look at our third period highlights and stats. Woodbury came into the period down a goal, and they got it. Luke Danielson, the big net front presence, forced it in, and the Royals tied it at 1. Here's another look at it. Danielson, we mentioned earlier in the period how his size suits him well. And that time he boxed out a Wolfpack and scored it to tie the game.
Yeah, he just used his big frame, and that's all it took. Once he got the puck out front, he got the stick on it and just popped it over the pad.
Wolfpack outshot the Royals by 1 in that period. They lead 24-21 in shots on goal. It was 31-29 Woodbury in their first meeting. And there's Mosier trying to instruct the Wolfpack. He's a Park alum back in 1991, part of those very good early 90s Park hockey teams. On the other side, Woodbury and the veteran coach, Wes Bolin. The legacy at Fond du Lac High School with 256 wins there and now 16 years behind the Woodbury bench. It was Tarleton in overtime in their first meeting, and he scored the game winner with less than a minute to go. If they conclude the 8 minutes without a goal, it ends in a tie.
Yeah, we will have an 8-minute sudden death overtime.
Woodbury is 1-1-1 in overtime this year, beating Park, losing to Stillwater, and tying Mankato East. Park is 1-1-2, losing to Woodbury, tying Forest Lake, tying Hastings, and beating Sartell St. Stephen. They switch ends with Woodbury now attacking from right to left in an offensive zone draw with Kruger winning it. Tarleton trying for the win, grazed the netting. Royals trying to hum in the offensive zone to start the OT. Sent out though by the Wolfpack, and Tarleton tracked it down. Thompson pressuring in. Tarleton splits through Wolfpack, and Tarleton got tangled up. Kruger unable to control the puck. Wolfpack the other way. It's 5-on-5 here in overtime. And it's iced by the Royals 41 seconds into the OT.
Yeah, icing in the overtime is not very well advised right now because the face-offs are so important. And hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt them.
Let's remind everybody what's at stake here. Both these teams are vying for section seeding at this stage of the year. And the difference between a 6 and a 7 could be big. Here's a rush for Dylan Chapman. Nelson the save. And Chapman getting tangled up after the play.
Nelson using that big body right there. He came out on the top of the circle. They had no chance to go in.
The transition hockey has been pretty superb on both sides. We've seen a lot of breakouts and some good chances. The goaltenders have been terrific all night long. Cheetah on the draw. It's won by Park. Can they clear the zone? Around to New Power, the lone goal scorer for the Wolfpack. Youngworth hacked at it, nearly a trip. Youngworth near the blue line. Going hard after the puck is Youngworth. It's dragged on and shot off the side of the goal. That was all Youngworth, just force of will creating that chance by New Power. And now the other way. Slid through the crease, intended for Cheetah. Pushed on by Zimmerman. Battle for in the corner with Cheetah. Cheetah staying with it. The compete factor is so high right now. And a 3-on-2 perhaps the other way. Royals, though, catching up, and the Wolfpack change. Andrew Zimmerman. Contested by Greeter. Got rid of it to neutral. Left behind by Fotopoulos. Bounced in on Carlson. He'll release it from the glove. 2 minutes played in overtime. Thompson trying to keep the zone. Jansky reaching the puck. Aided there by McCarthy. And it flops out near Gordon. Gordon trying to pry it free. Still battles with McCarthy. Pushed on to Thompson. Picked up by Schuyler, the junior. Across center, dumps it in. Jansky first to get it for the Wolfpack. Sudden death overtime on senior night at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. Schuyler backhanded one over the top of the blue paint. Now missiled in from the half wall, trying to get a breakaway. This could be it. Matthew Thompson dragged down. Could be a penalty shot, but there's no call. And Thompson is down behind the net. Oh my.
I can't believe that wasn't a call on that one. That was really borderline. They must be not want to decide it.
They have not been calling many penalties. Tarleton taking him down there. Wow.
That was a borderline slash or trip.
And then getting jammed up against the end boards there was Thompson.
It looks like the referees are discussing this one too.
Here's Tarleton. Does he play the puck? He's around the right shin. And take a look, too, at the end of this play with Thompson getting jammed. It doesn't look that... It doesn't look... It's hard to tell, I should say, what he injured on that collision.
It looked like more of his pad might have caught his head or neck or...
Mosier looking on. I'm sure he's anxious to hear what the officials explain to him.
It looks like Thompson's up and he's on the bench.
That's important. There's not going to be a penalty called after the fact here. It's going to remain 5-on-5. Neutral zone face-off. New Power smokes it in off the boards. Barry behind to get it. 5 minutes left in overtime. New Power gains the zone. Looking to the point for Lucio. Anderson. Lucio, a shot blocked. Kruger got it out. Cooley across the blue line offside as he was flanked by Danielson.
You can just feel the tension in this building right now. Both teams are wanting this one really bad.
4:44 to go in front of this packed house. Glad you joined us tonight on SWCTC. Bonus hockey with Anderson going after Barry. Barry moved forward to Dylan Chapman. Trying to pass it to himself off the glass, and it worked well. Chapman goes corner to corner looking for Myrer. At the point, Zimmerman. Zimmerman tees up Cheetah, and the shot hit a body. Royals still pressuring. That'll trickle out of the zone, and now the Wolfpack the other way. Cutting off the angle there was Cheetah to pick up the puck. Barry. Barry makes a move to the corner. Wolfpack come back with it. Wing to wing, they go to New Power. More than halfway done with overtime. 25-23, shots on goal favoring Park. McCarthy dumps it in after the touch-up. In to get it, Colin Youngworth. Greeter sent it toward the net front. Royals countering. Luke Danielson chasing after. These teams have to be exhausted. Lindau around the boards. Now the Wolfpack transitioning. 3-on-2. Youngworth fires. Pad save. Rebound blocked by Schwartzhoff. And the puck rims along the end boards. Great effort by Schwartzhoff, who's made some plays that won't show up in a box score tonight.
Well, they had Sam Jansky down low on that play, and he stayed down there. And I think they're trying to generate a little more offense.
Final 3 minutes. Park got an overtime winner from Jansky against Sartell St. Stephen earlier this year. Their lone overtime game-winning goal this season. Fired in, played by Carlson. Wolfpack trying to retain the zone and can't. Outlet intended for Chapman, never reached him. Winutka battling there. Here's Cheetah, 2 good moves. Cheetah can't uncork the shot, and New Power will float it out. Caught by Schwartzhoff, I should say, when Winutka poked it in and gets to the bench. Speeding with it, Tarleton. Does he have another game winner in him? Tarleton slides one toward the net, never reached Nelson. Puck leaves the zone. Zimmerman. Cross ice. Barry. Barry trying to create a rebound. That's hacked toward the net front. Nelson cutting off the post. And a pile up behind the cage. Wolfpack again transitioning the other way. Back and forth we go. McCarthy watching the puck move on. McCarthy still right around it. Collision at the dot. McCarthy contested by Fotopoulos. Schuyler in the corner. Greeter with a gritty play. And some pushing and shoving. 90 seconds left in overtime. Tied at 1. Pumped in. Zimmerman. New Power trying to get it away. Got it to Jansky. Slapper. Blocked in front. Puck loose in the slot. Emerging is Barry. Bounced it to Fotopoulos. Gordon reaching back for the puck. New Power gliding with it with 1:05 to go. New Power, Youngworth, fanned on the shot, moved to the boards and into the corner. Less than a minute to go. It's New Power looking to the net front. Wolfpack trying to end senior night on a glorious note, but the Royals steal it and potentially ice the puck here. Nelson, though, trying to distribute. He's got Youngworth. Youngworth fires across ice for Greeter. And Greeter couldn't handle that hot pass. 30 seconds to go. Shooting from the slot. Lindau following up. There's Youngworth again. Centers. They score! Greeter wins it on senior night.
Yeah, that's pretty fitting for Jason Greeter. Or actually, I'm sorry. It's Brandon Greeter. That's pretty fitting for him. He tries so hard all night, all game long.
And the celebration in front of the students. 24 seconds left.
That's definitely a fitting end for Park tonight. Woodbury played a tough game. Goaltender Austin Carlson was unbelievable, along with Connor Nelson.
I have a feeling who our player of the game might be. The 6th of the year for Brandon Greeter. The senior gets it done at 7:36 of overtime. All smiles. And they'll shake him up at center ice. Park moves to 8-14-2. Woodbury to 6-16-1. And we'll keep it right here as we await the Greeter interview with Bill Hupp. There's the finish. Greeter took the pass from Youngworth, and how good was Youngworth in overtime? He was everywhere.
He was phenomenal. He was everywhere. You didn't know where he was going to be the next 1 minute to the next. And he had about 5 or 6 shots, but none of them, they didn't get through, but he was constantly peppering.
Deflating loss for sure for Woodbury.
And that's going to move the Park Wolfpack into a place right above where Woodbury was in the conference.
Woodbury came in 7th. Park came in 8th. They'll flip-flop. And other games tonight that we haven't reported on. Roseville at Eastridge, Irondale at Mounds View. Elsewhere tonight in the Suburban East. What a game this was. 27-23, the final shots on goal margin. And Brandon Greeter, the hero, with the overtime winner, his 6th of the season. And Jay Mosier, after seeing his team maybe lose its composure there at times in the third, they bring it together in the OT. Well, Ron, can you put a bow kind of on this hockey season, even though it's not complete quite yet for either of these teams, especially for Park here getting the win?
Yeah, with Park with the win, that's going to give them a little bit of momentum going into the next game. They possibly could even move up a seed or two in the sectional just because of that. And Woodbury, I'm not sure. There's still the continuing woes with their scoring. If they can just find a way to score in that first period, in the second period too, things could change for them.
This game could be a springboard going forward for Park. Let's go down to the hero who produced that moment, Brandon Greeters, with our Bill Hupp.
Brandon, game-winning overtime goal, 24.4 seconds left. Take me through that game winner.
I don't know. The time was coming down, you know. Everyone was busting their balls. It's just came down to the last shot, and I just tried to put it on net, look for a rebound or something, and it went in. So I don't know. I just don't even know what to say.
An overtime winner is always special, but how special is it to do it on senior night?
It's a blast. It's just so cool to go out that way. Last game in this rink in the last period. Felt pretty good.
You guys are playing well, beat Stillwater. Now you get an overtime win over Woodbury. How confident is this team right now?
We're doing pretty good. We had a pretty slow start at the beginning of the year, and it's just nice that we're getting some big wins over some good teams like Eastridge and Stillwater, as you said. Coming out and beating Woodbury, we're feeling good right now.
Brandon, what does it say about the character of this team that you gave up a game-tying goal in the third period and yet didn't quit and got the winner late in overtime?
We're always bouncing back. A couple games this year, we've let up a couple goals at the end of the game, and then we just give up. But tonight, everyone was just going, and nobody really gave up.
Brandon, congrats on the game winner, and go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you.
Brandon Greeter, game-winning overtime goal with 24.4 seconds left for Park.
Thanks, Bill, and good work all night long. Ron, you put a wrap on this season pretty effectively a moment ago. Thanks for your work tonight. That was a lot of fun. Let's do that again sometime.
Definitely, that was a lot of fun. Brandon put it into perspective. They did not give up tonight, and you could tell that everybody was trying till the end.
Resiliency shown on both sides tonight here at Cottage Grove Ice Arena. On behalf of Bill Hupp, Ron Coulter, our entire terrific crew, my name's Sam Ekstrom, signing off from the SWCTC Hockey Classic. Park wins it in overtime.